Yo, welcome to Simply Bitcoin Live, your number one source for the peaceful Bitcoin revolution. We cover breaking news, culture, dramatic warfare. We will be your guide through the separation of money and state. Michael Saylor continues to stack all the corn. What the hell is going on here? He's bought more Bitcoin. It's crazy because when he stacks, he buys thousands at the same time, which is absolutely bonkers. But anyways, also something that we've been covering for quite a while, and it's something that I want you guys to focus on, right? Which is, it's not red versus blue. It's not right versus left in the traditional fiat political sense. As time progresses, I suspect in the next 5 or 10 years, it's really going to be green versus orange. And when I say green, I mean obviously the US dollar. It's going to be fiat versus Bitcoin. So I have a clip for you guys today of ex-President Trump, and he was saying the quiet part out loud. He's saying the US dollar is at risk of losing world reserve currency status. What that means, what I believe some people call it deep state. I would just call it the administrative state. What they're going to do, in my opinion, to try to really, take the legs off this industry. And I think we've been seeing that for quite a while. So we're going to get into all that today. And then also news coming out of Texas. It seems like Pierre Richard's effort, and also the bill that they were trying to pass that would be anti-Bitcoin mining to be specific, looks like it passed committee. It hasn't completely passed yet, but we have an update for you guys on that. And look, you have to remember, right? The vast majority of the Bitcoin mining hash rate is located in Texas, right? So, it's crazy, how the people that want you to use the money that steals from you, it's crazy how far to what lengths they go to in order to try to stop this, movement. So very crazy stuff. We're going to get into all of that. We have all the details like always. But before we start the show, I want to bring up my awesome co-host, always optimistic. How you doing, Opti?
I'm doing wonderful. Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I can't.
You're coming in loud and clear.
I was coming in a little quieter than usual. Quiet. What's up, everyone? How you doing? It's good to be here, man. I'm excited this morning. As I was just telling Nico, I drank way too much coffee yesterday and I had the worst headache. But today I was very good about my coffee intake, and I'm still jacked up for you guys. So I am actually feeling wonderful today. And man, crazy news. I did see that clip from, ex-President Trump, I guess is the way that Nico's calling him. So I will follow suit on this one.
And, or President Trump, right?
Yeah, I think it's President Trump. I think they still call him president, right? I don't know. They still call him president, whatever they are. Anyways, crazy stuff. Say what you want about Trump, but I think a few of the things he's said in the past has coming to fruition in the future. So crazy stuff. And we do have a guest today, and I will chat with him about what he's doing. But today is also the 90th anniversary of Executive Order 6102. So I will touch on that a bit.
What is Executive Order 6102? So
it's when they took the gold. I'm going to get all this into in the culture, Nico. Do not spoil the secrets. But yeah, it's when they took your gold. TLDR, take your Bitcoin into self-custody and you can avoid this.
Absolutely. And before we get to the numbers, I want to bring up our very special guest. How you doing, Alec? Welcome to Simply Bitcoin. Happy to have you, brother.
Thanks for having me on.
It's going to be a great show. All right, everybody, ladies and gents, let's get to the numbers. Let's do this.
The Bitcoin numbers.
Brought to you by NODL. At this point, you should be running your own Bitcoin node. If you don't use your own Bitcoin node, you're trusting someone else's. Run your own version of Bitcoin Core, the Lightning Network, Whirlpool, and Dojo, all from the comfort of your own home. And if you're a digital nomad, you have absolutely no excuse, because now you can run a NODL through a virtual private server. Visit nodl.eu today. Everybody, else, I want to tell you about Bitcoin 2023. It's going to be the largest Bitcoin conference on planet Earth, Miami Beach, Florida, May 18th through the 20th, 2023. And we got good news for you guys. You can use promo code SIMPLY to get yourself a big discount on Bitcoin 2023. I want to go through some of the speaker lists. We have Michael Lewis, Arthur Hayes, Michael Saylor, Jack Mahlers, Casey, Alex Glasstein, Preston Pish, Stacey Herbert, Greg Foss, Peter McCormack, Lynn Alden, Matt Odell, Robert Breedlove, Jeff Booth, Mark Moss, Caitlin Long, Nico and Opti are also going to be there as well. You definitely don't want to miss the biggest Bitcoin celebration of the year, Bitcoin 2023. Promo code SIMPLY. At the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is 27,920 sats per dollar, 3,582. Block height 784,066. Reachable Bitcoin nodes 17,096. Blocks to halving 55,934. Halving estimate April 20th, 2024. Total Lightning Network capacity 5,411 Bitcoin. Capacity value 151 million US dollars. Realized monetary inflation 1.76%, and the market capitalization of Bitcoin $539 billion with a B. Anyways, interesting news that happened yesterday. We don't really get into politics. I just don't really, honestly, I think Bitcoin makes, I really recommend reading the book, The Sovereign Individual. I really believe that as we transition into the information age, as individuals have the ability to go to the jurisdictions they're treated best, not to mention the fact that, the separation of money and state, I think politics are going to take a back seat. So that's our opinions on Simply Bitcoin. We don't lean left or right in the traditional fiat sense. We lean for Bitcoin, which basically means we lean for freedom, obviously. So just making that clear. But I'm going to play you guys two clips. First, it was Tucker Carlson tonight. Obviously, you guys know the deal. Tucker is one of the most popular, legacy corporate media broadcasters right now. 3.5 million average viewers per episode. And it's interesting because he was saying the thing that we were saying a couple weeks ago, right? One of the narratives that they use to attack El Salvador is they say Nayib Bukele is a threat to democracy, right? And these are people that live, a lot of them live in the United States. I think that argument is extremely hypocritical. I'll play you a clip by Tucker. And then the second clip is Trump saying the quiet part out loud. And I think, we had a clip from CNN that we've played you guys. We had a clip from Fox News. And I think a lot of people are coming to the realization that the US dollar is losing global reserve currency status. And if you are an American, you benefit tremendously from having that global reserve currency status. And for anyone that doesn't know, currently how it's set up, and obviously the BRIC nations are trying to move away from this, is if you're a country and you're transacting with another country, you're trading with another country, you're using the dollar, right? More than likely. Obviously, countries are trying to get away from that because the U.S. government, what they've done, with this privilege, is they've weaponized the currency, right? Not to mention the fact that they've printed an ungodly amount as well. So that's why we don't have Argentinian type of inflation in the U.S., right? It's because every time the U.S. prints, the reality is that there's a lot of countries that are holding dollars in their central bank. So it gives the US this very unique ability. Europe kind of has it as well. So does Switzerland, right? Because a lot of countries hold, the Swiss franc and the euro and all that stuff. But the US still has this crazy unique ability of just printing money out of thin air and not causing a ridiculous amount of inflation. So anyways, I'm going to play this clip and then we'll talk about it. Let's check it out.
Clearest perspectives on our country come from outside its borders. With distance comes clarity. So with that in mind, here is Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele on Twitter today. Quote, "Think what you want about former President Trump and the reasons he's being indicted," Bukele wrote. "But just imagine if this happened in any other country where a government arrested the main opposition candidate. The United States' ability to use, quote, democracy as foreign policy is gone."
Our currency is crashing and will soon no longer be the world standard, which will be our greatest defeat, frankly, in 200 years. There will be no defeat like that. That will take us away from being even a great power.
So, yeah, I mean, what I find interesting about that, right, is the comments in the beginning. I look, if I hear another country say, look, whatever you think, again, like just put the politics aside. Like the reality is that Trump, whether you like him or not, which is irrelevant to this, is the front running candidate for the opposing political party. This is what they do in developing countries, right? That, so like if you hear from the corporate media saying Nayib Bukele is a danger to democracy, I don't see El Salvador putting in prison or arresting the opposing political party's leader. I don't see that happening, right? So that's just really fucking interesting. And I like the fact that Nayib Bukele is using Twitter to basically circumvent the gatekeepers of information, to get that out there, to tell the public, like, hey, what's going on here, bro? Like, we're supposed to be a danger to democracy. What's going on there? So I never want to hear that argument again. It's bullshit. We always knew it was bullshit, but there you go. Like hypocrisy on its front. Now, the interesting part, maybe it was a political statement. I have no idea. But I think, if you've been paying attention to what the BRIC nations were doing and the announcement by that crazy meeting between Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, and Xi Jinping, which is, the president for life in China. They were meeting this crazy state ceremony, and apparently it was a hot mic where they got caught in a conversation, and Vladimir was like, look, like, we want to use the yuan to transact, right? So they're trying to move away from the dollar. It makes perfect sense. This is what happens when you weaponize a currency. This is literally what happens. People seek an alternative. I don't think countries would be seeking an alternative if the US government did not print, right? And I said government on purpose, right? If he was like, no, the Fed and the Central Bank of the United States and the government are separated. It's like, yeah, fine. You totally on paper, perhaps, but every single time Congress is like, hey, we want to pay for this bill, the central bank just foots the bill. So fine, maybe they're separated, but they sure don't act like it. Anyways, so yeah, like it's clear, we're big believers in incentives, obviously, because we're Bitcoiners. And it's clear that, Russia, China, Brazil, the BRICS nations and other countries are seeking an alternative. And you're seeing, in my opinion, I think all of that's noise. I think if they find an alternative, it's just going to be a replacement of what they have today. I think really, though, what the signal is there, though, is El Salvador. And the reason I think El Salvador is a signal is because El Salvador is not choosing to use a state currency. El Salvador is using to use a non-state currency, which has rules without rulers. The monetary policy is set in stone and no one controls it. Therefore, it cannot be weaponized, right? And I think El Salvador's choice over time is going to be proven to be the right choice, especially in the next halving, as Nayib Bukele's decision and Michael Saylor's decision, which we're going to talk a little bit about during the news segment, is completely vindicated, right? So these are crazy times. Buckle down. Put your seatbelt on, take your Bitcoin into self-custody, learn how to run your own node, because these are crazy, tumultuous times. But after all, this is the separation of money and state. Opti, what are your thoughts, brother?
Well, the news we are seeing currently and the Bukele tweet really reminds me, and I've mentioned this the last couple of weeks, that article by Max Kaiser, Who's the Banana Republic Now? And it really does feel like we are a banana republic now, like banana republic confirmed in America. And it really is, I don't know, a dangerous precedent, a dangerous trend, a scary trend that we are seeing right now. The amount of political, I can't even say it. The amount of politicalization, I think I'm messing it up in regards to what is going on in America. It is absolutely terrifying. And just doubling down on Nico's point, de-dollarization is happening in real time. But as we keep covering on the show, more Keynesianism is not going to fix the solution of Keynesianism. And like Nico said, be like El Salvador. Bitcoin is the solution. Again, it's not right versus left. It's individual versus the collective. It's orange versus green. This is the real fight going on. And anyone that angles it any differently is probably either nefarious or trying to take advantage of you, which I guess is nefarious or really just doesn't understand. And I know Nico pushes back on this, but I'm going to say it anyways. And Nico, you can push back on it all you want. But democracy is the biggest scam. It's mob rule. And again, I know Nico pushes back on that.
I would say democracy with the money printer is a big scam. And the reason I say that is because, like, politicians, remember guys, incentives. No one's better than their incentives, right? If you're a politician, you're not incentivized to serve your constituents. You're incentivized to get as close as humanly possible to the money spigot. Like that, and it makes sense, right? Why does, I'm going to bring up Elizabeth Warren because she hates Bitcoin, right? Why does Elizabeth Warren have tens of millions of dollars of net worth if she's on a government salary? Like, where did that come from, right? Why does Washington, D.C. have some of the most, the most expensive, exclusive neighborhoods in all of the U.S.? D.C. is not a productive city. It's the seat of government. Government is not a productive, a productive element of the economy, right? Even though they make up to 20 to 25% of GDP, all they do is take, really. Right. Government isn't productive. Right. So, why is it that DC has, some of the highest income in the whole of the US? Well, the reason is simple. It's not really that complicated. That's the seat of the money printer. Like, literally, it's right there. That the Federal Reserve is right there. Right. Like, we have to end the Fed, but we can't end the Fed the way that the political solution to end the Fed, which is like elections and fucking bullshit and whatever. No, what's the guy's name? The famous economist, Opti. We have to find a sly roundabout way.
Hayek.
Hayek. There we go. We have to find a sly roundabout way. Bitcoin is that sly roundabout way. It really fucking is. Right? That's how we do this. We don't end the Fed by saying, okay, Congress, take a vote, end the Fed. No, we end the Fed by saying, yo, fuck your system. It's stolen from me. If you're under the age of 35, you can't fucking buy anything. You're outpriced. You can't afford fucking real estate. You didn't have the same opportunity as your parents, right? Bitcoin is our fucking way out. This is why we're here. This is literally what the peaceful fucking revolution is about. Fuck that shit. You stole from us. You continue to steal from us because you're fucking printing money. It's over, and I'm opting the fuck out. That is how you effectuate change. And if they try to play their fucking state level games, which is like, no, we at the government are telling you that thing that you're doing is a fucking danger to society and whatever. You know what you do as a Bitcoiner? You say, go fuck yourself. I'm moving to El Salvador. I'm moving to a place that treats me better than your fucking system. And states are not used to this type of change in power dynamics. They've been operating in a society where it is extremely easy to seize people's wealth. We're going to talk about during the culture with the 6102 order, and most people have their money in a bank account, right? When you put Bitcoin into self-custody, and if a lot of people do it, millions of people do it, especially in a country like the US where there's the fucking Second Amendment, do you think the guys in suits are going to go door to door and say, yo, give me, bro, no. So Bitcoin is changing all of this, right? The internet was like, started the fire, and then Bitcoin came along with a fucking drum of gasoline and was like, and that fucking fire is the fire of fucking freedom, and we're gonna win. And I don't think there's anything they could do about it. This is fucking inevitable. This is the separation of money and state. We have a better system, and their system is a system of slavery. It's a system of usury. Fuck inflation. Why should we be forced to use the money via legal tender laws that fucking steals from us? That's the big question. We get the vast majority of people, we get the mainstream consciousness asking that question. It's game over. They avoid it. Their CBDCs is about making payments more fucking efficient. Well, shove your fucking efficient payments where the sun doesn't shine. I want money that doesn't steal from me.
Hold on. I said that on purpose to trigger Nico. No, I didn't. It just worked out perfectly. But front run all this madness and take Bitcoin in self-custody. Anyways, Alex, jump in.
Yeah, super bullish on El Salvador. Obviously, I need to make a trip down there myself to check it out. But it's just amazing to see, like, whatever you think about Trump, seeing a major political figure actually bring up that the US dollar is in decline. The average person is just completely unaware of that fact. So the fact that it's in mainstream news and everyone's talking about it, it's bullish for me.
Absolutely. Everything is bullish for Bitcoin.
Can't stop the signal.
Can't stop the signal. Anyways, everybody, Opti, you gotta say shit that triggers me more often.
I know.
Anyways, there's a good fucking opportunity. It's a good opportunity because we were talking about fucking self-custody and shit. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're gonna take self-custody of your Bitcoin, all right, you gotta put your Bitcoin seed on fucking Steel. All right, there's no better place to do it than the Bitplates Domino. Easy to use, hard to destroy. Bitplates Domino are designed to preserve Bitcoin wallet backup seed words and passphrases made from highly corrosion resistant 316 marine grade stainless steel, offering the ultimate protection against extremes of temperatures. Put your Bitcoin seed, your generational wealth, on Steel. Don't put it on paper. Paper sucks. And you can use promo code SIMPLY to get yourself a 10% discount. We always have your guys' back. Anyways, everybody, let's get to the news. Let's do it.
The Daily News.
The Daily News is brought to you by Blockstream Jade, built by Bitcoiners for Bitcoiners. It's an open source hardware wallet for the cold storage of Bitcoin. Check out the brand new limited edition color, the transparent green Jade. Blockstream Jade houses a full color camera, allowing for fully air-gapped Bitcoin transactions, scan and display QR codes directly on the device, assign transactions, and verify addresses with ease. Use your Blockstream Jade with your favorite wallet software, such as Blockstream Green, Blue Wallet, Electrum, Sparrow. Get yourself a Blockstream Jade today and take self-custody of your Bitcoin.
All right, everybody. The Chad Saylor. Oh, why did I do that? The Chad Saylor is stacking the fields of corn. MicroStrategy has acquired an additional 1,045 Bitcoin for $29.3 million US dollars and an average price of $28,000 per Bitcoin. As of April 4th, 2023, MicroStrategy holds 140,000 Bitcoin acquired for $4.17 billion at an average price of $29,803 per Bitcoin. Michael Saylor is almost break even, and holy cow, when we pass that number, damn. This is the vindication. We've been talking about Michael Saylor's vindication. This is literally what it's about. Anyways, so I wanted to give a quick update on that. It's an update more than anything. And I just want to say, right, while the fiat world is burning down, right, while the last president and the front runner of the political opposition for the 2024 election is being arrested and Banana Republic shit going on, the fiat world burning. Janet Yellen is like, the bank system's okay. Powell can't even answer why the fuck we have 2% inflation. While that clown world bullshit is going on, while they don't want you to own nothing and be happy, the fucking Chad Saylor has his fucking horse blinders on, to use Opti's words, and he's just fucking stacking the fields of corn, bro. Anyways, Michael Saylor knows what's up. I suggest you do the same shit. Opt the fuck out of their system. Get yourself some Bitcoin. Take that said Bitcoin into self-custody and just forget about it and live your life. This is the beauty of Bitcoin. And remember, anyone who's against that, like, think about it. Think about the type of person that would be against you, the individual, having the ability to save for a better future. Like, why? It's so nuts. Not only do you pay taxes, you have to use a fucking money that, you know, decreases in purchasing power over time. I don't think they could defend that. And you know why I say that? Because in every single one of their presentations, whether it's like the economic report by the president, whether it's the economic report by the president, whether, you know, it's all the things that have been happening, right? Janet Yellen, the Treasury released a report called The Future of Money. And any of those government reports, they always mention about, we have to make payments more efficient. And, you know, obviously they're trying to push the central bank digital currencies, but they never mention inflation. They never mention inflation. And I really believe that's a smoking gun. I don't think they can acknowledge it, because I think it's an indefensible position, because Bitcoin proves that a money can exist that doesn't use inflation. And I think that's the weak point. And I think that's the point that we have to exploit. That's the point that we have to highlight. Anyways, the big news for today, you know, this is a separation of money and state. We tell you all the time, right? But here's the thing. These types of actions, right? And for our audio listeners, the name of the article, Blockworks, is Texas steps closer to cutting incentives for Bitcoin miners, right? Now, the thing that sucks for governments or states or, you know, these giant antiquated bureaucratic systems of government, is that, yeah, you could do that, Texas. But what that's going to do is it's just going to create an opportunity for another jurisdiction to say, hey, Texas, we could take your business if you want. And what that does is it empowers the Bitcoin miner. It empowers the individual, right? So anyways, let's check some of this article out. So I read you guys the headline. Move on. And also shout out to Pierre Richard, because he put on a hell of a fight. He went on, you know, and we played you guys a video last week, basically said all the reasons as to why Bitcoin mining is actually helping, it's actually helping local communities in Texas. Anyways, so it goes on to say Texas Senate committee has moved forward on a bill could make the state less attractive for Bitcoin miners. The bill, sponsored by Republican state senators Louis Colhurst, Donna Campbell, and Robert Nichols, aims to nix tax breaks and demand miners using more than 10 megawatts to register as flexible load operators with state grid operator ERCOT. Lawmakers in the state unanimously approved Senate Bill 1751 in a 10-0 vote on April 4th. Texas is considered one of the largest hubs in the world for Bitcoin mining, owing to its deregulated grid, low electricity prices, and renewable energy options. Lawmakers pitched the state as a friendly alternative to mining operations exiled by China's ban in 2021. Bitcoin miners across Texas are using 75% more power than last year, around 2,100 megawatts, Reuters reported, citing figures from Texas Blockchain Council President Lee Bratcher. That's about 3.7% of the lowest forecast peak load and almost triple power used in 2021. Texas's grid has suffered deadly outages during heat waves and winter storms over the past few years, making consistent energy supply a hot button issue for local voters. Under current conditions, miners are rewarded for shutting down when demand is high so that the power gets redirected to the grid. A key provision of the new bill restricts miners' participation in that demand response scheme to just 10% of the total program. Riot Blockchain, one of the most prominent Texas-based crypto miners, is among firms that benefited from the state's incentives. Last year, the miner racked in as much as $9.5 million in power credits because it shut down its rigs multiple times. Dennis Porter, CEO of Bitcoin mining advocacy firm Satoshi Action Fund, tweeted that the bill will eliminate incentives for miners to create jobs in rural communities. Quote, unfortunately, members of the committee were swayed by the influence of the powerful bill sponsor. Quote, there is a central party without any CEO telling them to do so just because of Bitcoin's incentives alone. The hash rate not only recovered, it's currently hitting all-time high. All those Bitcoin miners relocated all across the world. Now, what was really interesting is when that ban happened, we were in the middle of the last bull run. In my opinion, it cut the last bull run short, right? If you look at the hash rate and you look at the price of Bitcoin, the hash rate fell and the price of Bitcoin dropped. Why did it drop? Well, can you imagine all that sell pressure from those Bitcoin miners trying to relocate to more friendlier jurisdictions? Right. So, Texas could do this, but Bitcoin miners are just going to do the same thing that they did in China. Right. They're just going to relocate to a jurisdiction that's 1% to 35.4%. Kazakhstan went from 1.4% to 18.1. Russia went from 5.9 to 11.2. Canada went from 1.1 to 9.6. Right, you guys get the story. And then China went from 75.5% all the way down to 0%. But we all know, based on an article by Mackenzie Sigalos, we believe it's a lot higher than that. So anyways, Bitcoin's incentives are unstoppable. I don't think they'll be able to, hold this back. That's my opinion. I think you can't stop Bitcoin's incentives. Bitcoin's incentives is why Bitcoin stays winning. So yeah, man, this is just... it's just crazy. I'm telling you guys, and I mentioned this earlier, right? I think politicians have been used to operating in a world where, they regulate or they pass a bill and that's that. Well, I don't think they've ever dealt with a group of people, a group of individuals that don't really care. Like, look, Texas, you want to be that way? We're just going to go someplace else. This is already happening with the shitcoin casinos, right? The vast majority of shitcoin casinos, whether it's Binance, FTX, they weren't based in the US. They fucking left, right? So, this game where regulators think they're the end all be all, like, Nah, man. And I think that over time, I really do agree with the theory from the sovereign individual. I really do believe it. Information technologies are going to make fucking politics irrelevant. But what sucks for us is that transition period is going to suck. But hey, you know, I hope that more countries like El Salvador pop up. And I make this joke with Opti all the time. Bro, we're going to try to hold it down here. But if all else fails, guys, it's no longer simply Bitcoin. It's El Simply Bitcoin. Opti.
You're hilarious. Okay, first, man, guys, don't let Michael Saylor outstack you. I know he's a billionaire, but guys, continue to stack Bitcoin right now. It's an imperative that you continuously stack Bitcoin. Do not sell your Bitcoin to Michael Saylor right now. Yes, I know you might have bills and whatever, but make sure you are saving as much as Saylor. Saylor should be your inspiration to stack more and more Bitcoin. These types of conviction levels by Saylor is what Bitcoiners are all about. So, you know, shouts out to Saylor. I wish I had his kind of finances so I can just stack 140,000 Bitcoin. That sounds pretty lit to me. Anyways, to the Texas news. I think it's very sad to see. You know, I hope the Texas Senate stops this bill because it's trash, and this is setting a bad precedent for such a energy-rich state as Texas. And I want to see Texas embrace Bitcoin. I want to see America embrace Bitcoin mining because I want to see America win. And the only way we're going to stay ahead of the game is by embracing Bitcoin and not fighting Bitcoin and its incentives, because the human capital and the entrepreneurs that are Bitcoiners will just leave. And that's not going to be good for any of us. So, I mean, even if you bring the receipts, and Nico, you weren't here last week when I did my little rant. I was like, I am so sick and tired of trying to justify our energy use. I think at this point, I'm kind of leaning into the idea of like, what are you going to do to stop us? Because you can't. You only have to double down on the idea that you want to control us, that you want to coerce our behavior, because we are just peacefully, you know, buying electricity and converting it into the best money ever. Because when we bring the receipts and you brought them, you know, we covered it last year, like Bitcoin helped Texas grid last summer. And, you know, correlation is not causation, but hey, there was no issues in Texas this winter. And I know it wasn't a bad winter, but it's almost like the Texas grid is being improved and upgraded because of Bitcoin mining. So we know, and Pierre, we played that clip as well. Shouts out to Pierre. We know that Bitcoin mining improves the grid. It improves rural cities and brings jobs to areas with stranded energy. And I don't know if you guys have been in Texas, but there's a lot of free space out here that people aren't living. And I'd hate to see Bitcoiners and Bitcoin miners leave, because Bitcoin does bring jobs. And so it is very disappointing to see Texas, or at least those bureaucrats, fall for the emotional FUD. But again, shouts out to Pierre Rochard and Dennis Porter for putting their hat in the ring and educating these people and pushing the right buttons and pushing back against this bill, because this anti-innovation bill, because, we cover this a lot on the show. And you guys can say what you want about politics, but I would definitely say that it is a plus having Bitcoiners take up the fight against these politicians and put their hat in the political ring. And, you know, I personally am not the right guy to do it, but if you are, I would highly recommend that you do this as well. And, you know, on another point, Bitcoin will just route around this. So, you know, I would love to see America win. I'd love to see Texas win. I would love to see us have a friendly attitude towards Bitcoin. But like we continuously cover on the show, Bitcoin will just route around this. Bitcoin will go to friendly jurisdictions. And Nico, you kind of reminded me of something. I forget exactly what this stat was last year, but when the bureaucrats and the politicians in DC started to push back against Bitcoiner, I remember there being a stat that if Bitcoiners all voted together, we'd be the biggest voting bloc and we'd be the biggest voice, period. So I think it's important for us not to underestimate the power that you have as an individual, as a Bitcoiner out there. And again, you know, like we will win this. So, hey, it is what it is. Hopefully it'll be a soft transition, but hey, if we got to route around them, we will.
Yeah, 100%. That's literally what Bitcoin is, a sly roundabout way. Also, guys, it seems like YouTube was having some streaming issues. Just a reminder, guys, we are available on Rumble as well. Shout out to our Rumble audience. It's picking up. I think there's 23 people watching live on Rumble. Shout out to you guys. So seems like our Rumble channel is picking up. So if you guys can't find us on YouTube, if you're having issues on YouTube, you could always find us on Rumble. And and we're also audio only as well. Anchor, Spotify, Apple, Fountain, all that good stuff. Anyways, Alec, what's your take on this before we move on to the culture, brother?
Yeah, I mean, we're all fighting over a limited supply here, right? So just on the Michael Saylor front, he's the first one. Michael's strategy, they're buying a ton of Bitcoin. What happens when a lot of other companies start jumping on that same ship, right? So if you don't own a Bitcoin yet, take Saylor's advice here. He bought 1,000. Look to get yourself at least one, right?
Exactly.
And on the mining front, it's surprising to see, honestly. Just, I've seen a ton of positive news coming out of Texas. So kind of was, seemed out of the dark here, just coming out with a bill to de-incentivize it. But once again, I'm sure they'll route around it and find another jurisdiction to mine in. If so, TikTok next block.
TikTok next block. Exactly. You can't stop the honey badger. Anyways, everybody, let's get to the culture. We have a lot to talk about. Let's check it out.
The Daily Culture.
Brought to you by SwanBitcoin.com. Swan is the best way to build your Bitcoin stack with automated Bitcoin savings plans and instant purchases, serving clients of any size from $10 to $10 million. We love Swan because they incentivize self-custody and dollar cost averaging. What are you waiting for? Visit SwanBitcoin.com today.
Also, guys, I want to tell you about Swan's new offer. Bitcoin is generational wealth, and you can secure your bright orange future with the Swan IRA. Real Bitcoin, no taxes. Swan offers both traditional and Roth options to best fit your needs. Create your IRA and start adding Bitcoin in less than 1 minute. Transfers and rollovers are available. Swan's Bitcoin experts will get you set up with no transfer fees and no minimum balance requirements. This is real Bitcoin, non-ETF or other derivative. Get the real thing and get it at Swan. Go to swan.com/IRA for more details. And of course, you can always send me a DM on Twitter if you have any questions at all. Anyways, Opti, let's talk about.
Oh, Nico cut himself out. You cut yourself out. You took the wrong one out.
It's been a long day, bro. Let's talk about the 6102 order,
right,
though.
so
I feel like it's super fitting today with all the things that we've been talking about.
100%. I mean, we talk about this, basically the importance of this every single day. And again, I know we do have a guest here today, and I will feature some of the stuff that he's been talking about and talk about his story, but I thought it would be a missed opportunity if we didn't at least bring this up. So there's a good thread over here by Gabber Gerbax. Probably ruined your name, so forgive me. And here's the first tweet. This whole thread kind of goes into gold, so I'm just going to cover the first tweet and then Matt Odell's take on it as well, something that we talk about all the time. But anyways, the first tweet here is, today in 1933, today is April 5th, in 1933, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, president, signed Executive Order 6102 forbidding the hoarding of gold coin, gold bullion, and gold certificates within the continental U.S., and he just goes on, make a plan B for future Black Swan events. And you can see the official ad right here. Under executive order of the president issued April 5th, 1933, all persons are required to deliver all gold coin, gold bullion, and gold certificates on or before May 1st, 1933. So as Bitcoiners, you know me, hey, I'm not here to tell you guys that gold is a shitcoin, because gold is beautiful. I can't wait till it loses its monetary properties so that I can, get super gaudy and gold plate everything in my house. And but all I'm saying is Bitcoin is an improvement on gold.
Opti spent way too much time with Chrissy. Okay? Way too much time with Chrissy.
I am Latino. Blame my heritage.
Anyway, I'm Latino too, bro. I don't like the whole gold plated.
Me neither. I was leaning into the joke. Okay. Anyways, you guys know us. We talk about this consistently on the show. Gold bugs and Bitcoiners in all respects are basically in the same fight. We all want hard money. It's just, I fundamentally believe that Bitcoin is an improvement on gold, and it's very disheartening to see gold bugs shit on Bitcoin when it's like, yo, we're just like your better, smarter, stronger little brother, and we literally can avoid this same fate by doing what we tell you guys every single day. And Odell puts it perfectly in this tweet. He goes, 90 years ago, the US government tried to take everyone's gold. Learn how to securely hold your Bitcoin today. And this is the crux of the whole conversation that I wanted to bring it up today, because we tell you this every single day. And I always run down the different wallets, whether it is Jade, Cold Card, Seed Signer, Blue Wallet, Green Wallet, Breeze Wallet, Moon Wallet, Phoenix, Pine. There's so many wallets. You pick your poison. They're all good. There's trade-offs to them all. Even shouts out, I can't wait for my friends to come out with the Mutiny wallet. You can do Wallet of Satoshi. Some of those are custodial. Some of them are non-custodial. Use Zeus if you have your own Lightning wallet. The point is, you need to take your Bitcoin into self-custody. Stop trusting these middlemen, because if they can, and we are seeing the posturing from the bureaucrats, they will probably, most likely, try to ban you self-custodying your Bitcoin. Now, I say it all the time. You can't ban Bitcoin. You can only ban yourself from Bitcoin. So this is how you protect yourself, guys. It's a very simple call to action. Yes, we have the historical precedent of the government, federal government, trying to take their gold, hard money, and put us on the fiat standard. If you want a full history lesson, go read the Bitcoin standard, go read the fiat standard. This will tell you exactly what happened. But you can protect yourself from this. And this is why we're Bitcoiners. I think Bitcoin is an improvement on gold. That's why we have the meme that Bitcoin is digital gold. I would say it is much more than that, but it is still the same fight. Hard money. And this is how we beat the monetary demons, the unproductive class, is by taking your value, your wealth out of the system. And right here, we have Alex, a perfect tweet. Store your value through time and space, and protect yourself with encryption and mathematics, which is Bitcoin. And this is why we are doing what we are doing. This is why so many Bitcoiners have the paranoid tinfoil hat with Bitcoin. So again, if you have Bitcoin on an exchange today, do something by the end of the week, maybe today. Hey, it's better today than tomorrow, but take your Bitcoin into self-custody. And this is how you not only protect yourself, but also opt out of the fiat slavery, the fiat matrix, and stop trusting the middlemen. Because as we continuously cover on the show, they will do anything in their power to take your money away from you. And the only thing that's going to protect you from this is Bitcoin. Anyways, Nico, you want to jump in, and then we'll let Alex jump in, and then I'll kind of add a couple other stuff with Alex so we can continue this conversation.
Yeah, man. Hold on. Give me 1 second. There we go. Okay, here we go. Yeah, look. The reality, look, the way that the reason that they were able to get away with the 6102 order is because the vast majority of people kept their gold in vaults, right? So gold is very hard to store, like large amounts, right? You can put a bunch of fucking gold bars under your bed. So you obviously want to put it in a safe place, and then you think in a safe place, it's like, oh, obviously this fucking giant ass bank vault, right? Problem is that creates, a very easy place for the men with guns to come and knock on the doors of the bank, the bank, and say, hey, that shiny little gold, that's ours now. And then we're going to give you this paper in return, right? Like, this is why we emphasize self-custody so much, right? If you have people storing their Bitcoin, right? Being responsible and storing their Bitcoin on steel, right? And it's millions of people doing this. Say billions, right? Say billions, right? Billions of people doing this all around the world. It's very difficult with the men with guns to do that, right? I think, and I think the sovereign individuals talked about this, and I really do believe it, right? We have a lot of illegal immigration flowing into the U.S. these days, over the southern border. I believe that as nation states struggle, right, to raise taxes or pay for, their bills, right? We always go, Lynn Alden is super famous showing what the U.S. debt is going to be, and just the mere fact of just interest payments alone are just going to be unpayable in a decade or two. And what is the nation state going to do? They're going to try to raise more taxes, right? Or they might pull a 6102 order, right? Well, the problem is for them this time is that people could just leave, right? It's a totally different dynamic, right? You just like, look, you see that going on, happening, or like, and there's even more tragic situations that you could talk about, right? In the 30s and the 40s in Europe, right? There was people that were persecuted just because of their religion, right? A lot of them didn't leave. They couldn't take their money out. Now you could, I don't recommend you do this, right? But you can memorize a 24-word seed phrase, and you could store millions, theoretically billions and trillions of dollars in your mind just by memorizing 24 words. It'd be very difficult, right, to control people the way that these systems of government have been able to control people for centuries now. And this is what the peaceful revolution is about. This is what the transition into the information age is all about. The disintermediation of information, right? Which the internet did, social media did. Like right now, we're talking directly to you guys over YouTube and Rumble. And then also the disintermediation of money, which is what we're living through right now, right? And you're watching the state react hostile to both things. And I think as Bitcoin exposes everybody's incentives, these incentives are exposed no different, right? Was it really a government by the people for the people, or was it a government by the government for the government paid by the money printer, right? And then everyone's just kind of living in it, right? So, make no mistake, I hate how they call Bitcoin private money. No, Bitcoin is public money. Their money is private money, okay? Anyone could mine or like make more Bitcoin. You just have to mine it, right? Bitcoin is an open, transparent ledger. Their system is an opaque system of which they only have the special privilege of creating more of those dollars. Which sounds more equal and equitable to you? To me, it's fucking clear as day, right? So those are the narratives they're going to try to hammer home. And you see this. You see this in the presidential economic report, literally making the case as to why central banks are important, or central banks are necessary for a society to function. I would say central banks are literally the cause of the economic hardships that societies are going through nowadays. They are at fault. They are literally at fault. You're not at fault. The Democrats are not at fault. The Republicans are not at fault. The left and the right are not at fault. Well, I mean, you technically could say they're at fault because they both use the money printer. But the fundamental problem here is that no one deserves to be able to make money for free that another man has to work for. That is the fucking issue. That's what Bitcoin fixes. This is why we're fucking here. This is what the peaceful revolution is all about. Anyways, Alec, what are your thoughts? And then we'll move on to the meme review.
Yeah, I think this just really shows how Bitcoin empowers freedom. Imagine if there was a 6102 version today of Bitcoin. What are they going to do about it? Get rid of your hardware wallet, get rid of your seed phrase. All you have to do is store it in your mind. Unless they have a mind reading device, they're not getting your Bitcoin.
Amen. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's, and I don't think those exist yet, But anyways, how like in the TSA, like they have machines to like scan your phone, like get the data off of it. Make no mistake, those machines are going to come around, but to scan the data or to try to get the data off your hardware wallet. This shit is where it's going. But I think eventually they'll lose. Anyways, everybody, let's get to the meme review. Let's do it.
The Daily Meme Review.
Brought to you by Kaboom Racks. I get this question all the time. Nico, where should I buy Bitcoin miners? The answer is Kaboom Racks. It's the best place to buy Bitcoin miners. That's where you're going to find the best deals and the best prices. Start your mining utopia today. To check out their racks, you got to go to t.me/Kaboom Racks. Join their Telegram group and start your mining journey today. Kaboom Racks.
Kaboom.
Kaboom. All right, guys, you already know this is the meme review where we cover your memes. You send us memes on Telegram. You send us memes on you send us memes on Twitter. You send us memes in Telegram, and we review them live. Drop your meme review score in the chat. And
join our Telegram group, bro.
Join our Telegram group, t.me/simply Bitcoin, right?
TV.
See, I don't even know. There's too many. That's another rant for another day. Anyways, drop your meme review score in the chat and we will cover them live. Okay, this first meme though, it's kind of a double whammy. Wait, did I bring the right one? No, sorry, wrong screen up on the on. All right, here we go. This one's a double whammy. Considering I was literally, getting trolled out by Nico on the show is literally the worst moments of my day. Anyways, this first meme, I was going to put this meme up, but I hold on.
Malaka.
Okay, so this first meme, I was gonna put it on.
War.
Yeah, soundboard wars for the next 15 minutes. Okay, I was gonna put this first meme up, and then I saw that our guest Alex did a quote tweet of it as well. So this one's a double whammy. But the meme is by the BTC therapist at the BTC therapist on Twitter. And he goes, "Let's break the internet. Hashtag BTC is for saving." And you can see here, I mean, I honestly didn't think about it, the fact that the culture was based on 6102 as well. So we got a little gold memes in here as well. But it goes purchasing power, plus and negative on a wide x-axis. Well, yeah. And it's got time going to, I think that's the x-axis. Math is hard. Anyways, we got gold and it's barely going up in purchasing power over time. We got the dollar losing purchasing power over time, a significant amount of purchasing power. And I got another chart in here in the memes to show you guys. And then the Bitcoin price going up and to the right as it gains purchasing power over time. And then to double down on this, shouts out to Alex and his tweet. He goes, "Should you invest in Bitcoin? No, you should save in Bitcoin and invest in the network." Ooh, some bars right there. That's some bars. Anyway, let's move on. Let's keep it moving. This next one is this morning. I saw that Ray Dalio came out and said that he prefers gold over Bitcoin, even though he hodls a small amount of Bitcoin. And shouts out to Jai Kamet, Decentralized World Order, something. Bitcoin, Decentralized World Order Bitcoin on Twitter. And he goes, "Here you go, Ray Dalio. Someone fixed it for you." And I know you guys have seen this chart here about the reigning supremacy of fiat currencies. We have the Dutch, and then it's over 250 years. We have the Dutch currency. We have the British pound. We have the US dollar on the decline. And shouts out to whoever fixed the chart, because I've seen these charts go around and people put the yuan, Chinese yuan rising right here as it becomes the next world reserve currency. But as Bitcoiners, we know that this is not how it's going to work out. You cannot fit Keynesianism with more Keynesianism. So the real new world reserve currency is going to be Bitcoin, and it's only 15 years in the process. So shouts out to whoever actually created this. That guy gets it. This next one is by Publord, at Publord Huddle on Twitter. And he goes, "Well, it was a hell of a run, boys. Some beers and some laughing emojis." And we got a tombstone here, and it goes, "The petrodollar, 1973 to 2023. And we've been covering this on the show for the last week. The amount of posturing of people dropping the dollar, it really does seem like the petrodollar is dying in real time. And we're not dropping the Preston Pish American HODL today. We're going to drop it tomorrow. They talk about it as well. So you're going to definitely want to watch that one. Okay. And here, remember this chart here about the dollar losing purchasing power. Well, we got another meme here. This one's by at Vivek for real _ on Twitter. And he goes, "Bitcoin is going to zero." And we got a Bitcoiner with a fake crying Wojak mask. And he goes, "Look, you were right. Bitcoin is going to zero." And we got a chart here of $100 going to $3, and we got some smirking Wojaks over here. "We told you it was just a matter of time." And then the Bitcoiner with laser eye goes, "Just kidding. That's actually the purchasing power of the US dollar." And then the crying Wojak, "That's how it's supposed to be. We need inflation to stimulate the economy." Again, your dollar has lost 97% of its purchasing power since the creation of the Federal Reserve. That's a feature, not a bug. This is why we save in Bitcoin. This next one's by Ropium, and he didn't put anything in the tweet title, which Ropium, from what I hear, you need to put words. That's how the Twitter algos push it more. I don't know what this screenshot is, this meme template's from, so I'm not going to even attempt to do that. But I do know that that's Nicolas Cage, and I don't know what this guy's name is. He's yeah, whatever. Anyways, we got him staring at his friend. He goes, "America's biggest export is the dollar." And then we got the crazy-eyed look over here. Not for long. Oof. Actually felt that one. Okay, this next one is by Maxi Club, at Maxi Club on Twitter. 355 period, blindness. And we got a Bitcoiner and we got a statist over here. And the statist goes, taxation is the price we pay to live in a civilized society. And then we got what looks like Darth Coin, our moderator in our Telegram. And he goes with the lightning logo and the Bitcoin logo on his chest. He goes, that's just something that slaves say. Oh, I like that one. Sorry, guys. Anyways, again, at Greg Zaj. Also, apparently the Twitter algos likes when you put words in the tweet. So, hey, FYI. Anyways, he's got a picture here of a cat with the smiling face, a fat cat with a smiling face. And it goes, when you realize you bought Bitcoin at the perfect time, and the fat cat, and it just says heavy breathing. But hey, maybe it should be pleb worlds over here. The cat with the cigarette, just like, yeah, man, we're winning. Anyways, wait, what is this breaking news? Hold on. Breaking news, Chrissy and Opti talking again, yelling. Wait.
Rocket ship.
That's the wrong one, but I had to play it out anyway.
Malaka. No.
Okay. All right. Enough of that. Okay, guys. So drop your meme review score in the chat as we cover it live. Today, I am almost positive that this is a Simply Bitcoin meme score exclusive. It is one of these old clotheslines pins, wooden clothesline pin. I'm running out of things over here, I swear.
I'm going to give it a score. Breaking news for anyone who's tuning in. Christy Lagarde and Opti are talking again. Janet Yellen is jealous. She's printing money as revenge. So your inflation is indirectly caused by Optimus Fields. Anyways, Alec, what
You
are
are
your thoughts?
fake news.
So I picked a repeat score. I've got a Blockstream Jade.
Hell
Just
yeah.
wanted to point this out because I saw someone solo mining on one on.
Ooh,
Oh,
that's
I
right.
know. I thought that was an April Fool's joke, but apparently it's not.
Does your hardware wallet mine Bitcoin? That's why you got to get yourself a Jade. Anyways, everybody, yeah, I'm going to give it, you guys know my score already, but before we get to everyone's scores, I want to give a shout out to our very special sponsor, RepresentLTD.com. They make dope Bitcoin merch. Opti's wearing the classic black and white hoodie.
Wait, Alex is wearing the hat.
Alec is wearing the hat. I got the hat for
Let's
you guys,
go.
guys too. They make awesome merch. Check that out. Simply Bitcoin. Woo! Anyways, all that stuff is sold out. If you guys didn't get it while supplies last,
Go bug Represent. Maybe they'll make some more.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit them up, see if they can make more merch. But in the meantime, check out all their other stuff. It's super stylish. It's comfy. You guys will see me wear. If you guys see me out in public, you guys will probably be seeing me wear a Represent hoodie. You could take advantage of the promo code simply-bitcoin. Get yourself a big discount. RepresentLTD.com.
Wait. Before we go, Nico, I'm not going to pull this up on the screen, but all day I see you and you nasty. All right, go, Nico.
I don't know what that means, but all right.
I'll show you the comment after.
Sail Dog 18. Very nice. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean?
Say the meme review score.
Yeah, Sail Dog 18. I give the memes 1 confiscated gold sovereign and 1 burning $2 silver certificate.
Oh, man. Remember stacking $2 back in the day thinking it was going to be worth something before you knew about
bill,
Bitcoin?
The $2 bill. Yeah. Anyways.
Okay. Anyways.
Loco TX meme review does tacos de asada y 4 de pastor con todo. Ooh, very, very nice.
Wow.
Very, very nice.
Sounded very non-Latino
McLovin,
there.
I give the memes a bright orange block of knowledge that Nico will deploy on the fiat overlords in the form of a fiery rant. Oh, I love that, man. Satwise Janks, I give 3 burning effigies of the Wicked Witch of Bitcoin this Halloween at a Bitcoin gathering in Salem, Massachusetts.
Yikes.
Opti's Coke from McDonald's score. Opti talking to Christy after she told him she bought Bitcoin. Opti stops talking to Christy after he finds out she bought Bitcoin gold. Mike Denver, I give the memes some relaxing pills for Nico. Yeah. Igor,
Won't trigger him. I won't trigger him.
Igor, I give the memes. Opti's adding Blixit to his wallet.
I'll try that one. Yeah, actually, on that note, Nunchuck's cool. I'll try Blixit.
We're out of time, Opti.
Wait. Hold on. I gotta shout out my boy Rope here. This meme review score. Rating those memes, Opti's gold-plated caddy with the leopard print seat covers. If you know, you know.
Anyways, everybody, thank you so much for. We like to end it with a bit of comic relief, and that's exactly what the meme review is for. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning into another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. I want to thank our very special guest. Thank you so much for joining us today, Alex. Why don't you tell everybody where they could find you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. At Aladon on Twitter. It should be, in your guys' notes here. And I also make content on TikTok. It's what.is.bitcoin.
Awesome, bro. Thank you for joining us. My camera overheated. Happens. It hasn't happened in a while, but it totally did. Opti knows exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. I'm your host, Nico. Shout out to my awesome co-host, Opti. If you guys enjoyed the show, you know what to do. Smash that like button. Consider subscribing if you feel like we provided you value. But the number one thing you could do to help this show, in fact, help the peaceful Bitcoin revolution, is share all Bitcoin content. Not only this, share it all. We gotta push the message. We got to push the Bitcoin signal. Anyways, we love you all. We will see you tomorrow, 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, for another episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. Peace out, everybody.